Going Strong Podcast. I'm Reese Will. We got my cats in the house. We got Dre Day and we got Freak. What's up, fellas?
Hey, Reese Will, what's going on?
We got a new topic, man. We got a new topic. You know, everybody's talking about it, man. Everybody is talking about it, man. Joy Taylor, the Joy Taylor trend. What y'all think? I mean, we got some video to show, but you know what? Let me show the video first.
Joy and pain.
Joy in the pain.
Joy Taylor, she's not someone that I didn't get along with. I basically, for the most part, just kept my distance from Joy Taylor. And I kept my distance, not because I didn't like her, it's just because I knew myself. I know myself. I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly, it's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack, like, Jay, keep your distance. That's going to get you into trouble. And so that's what I did. I kept my distance. Because when you put years ago, Joy Taylor's probably 25, 26 years old. You're talking about, I mean, I got a lot of discipline, but 25-year-old with them big cans and that peanut butter skin who has nothing to say, at some point I'm going to lose respect. And I'm like, well, the only thing she's got to offer is them big cans and that peanut butter skin. So if I got to put up with this, I might as well enjoy them big.
Man, so fellas, what y'all think about what Whitlock said?
Well,
he knows himself very well.
Yeah, I think Whitlock caught a little too much flack for what he was saying. I get what he was saying, especially working in the corporate world. But first and foremost, I want to say every time I hear about the peanut butter skin, it makes me think about that early 1980 song by the group Math Production, Peanut Butter. When they used to say, when you're feeling hungry, you ain't got nothing to eat. So
Right.
to the kitchen, peanut butter can't be beat. So that every time I hear that peanut butter, it make me think about that song. But
Math Production, that's gonna go way back right there.
Hey, I got them, man. I got them. It's all up here.
Right.
But from a corporate environment world, like what he was saying is, I knew to not to put myself in a bad situation. Not that he had a chance with Joy, or maybe he did, because he was in a position of power. I mean, he had his own show. He had something that she wanted. He was the original host of Speak for Yourself. He started it along with Kyle Hurd. So, he again, I want to give my man Jason a little bit of a break, because he was just basically saying, just don't put yourself in those situations, then you don't have to worry about it. I'm sure right now Skip Bayless wish he would have had that same attitude towards things, and probably Acho as well.
Right. What you think, Freak?
Man, the copy what Dre said, yeah, man. I mean, she's obviously looking for men with power, to get her name out there, and she was willing to do whatever she had to do to get that power. So I actually respect the Whitlock. He seen something that he knows what he's capable of doing, and he chose not to go that path. So,
it's almost like you gotta right. You almost have to look past kind of what he's saying and looking deeper into what he's saying.
Right.
And he may have a brass way of explaining it, but if you look deep into the outline of what he's doing and get away from how he's saying and what he's saying, he's just saying, look, I know basically what I'm, capable of, and I didn't want to put myself in that position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's not capable to the sense of, and for everybody out there, you got to take things in context. Like, he's being in a corporate environment, that could be saying something. It could be not necessarily him having a chance to be with Joy Taylor, but a situation presents itself and he says something about her big rack and her peanut butter skin. Next thing you know, she got him. She can blackmail him, or he loses his gig, whatever the case may be. So when he keeps saying, I know myself, that's what he's saying. I mean, I think I offer a unique insight, because I've been working in the industry, that has it's 80% female, and I'm in the management, so I've been doing this for a long, long time. So I get what he says about putting yourself in a bad situation.
Right.
I know watching his podcast. I mean, the first day he talked about this, he talked about his dad, and his dad was a powerful businessman, and his dad was very good looking man, and he worked around some very beautiful women. And one woman in particular, Jason recognized, her name was Miss Diane, is what Jason called her. And he asked his dad, "Hey, you basically you tapping that, you hit, you got something going with Miss Diane." And he said his dad gave him some valuable advice, and he said this is advice that he follows to this day, which kind of leads into what he was saying about he knows himself and he wasn't putting himself in this situation. His dad said no. He goes, I would never put myself in that situation. He goes, because basically I don't want to be working for Miss Diane. And he's like, well, what do you mean by that? And he was basically like, because once you make the mistake of being with someone in that ilk, and you, especially in a work environment, now she got you. She running things. You're working for her.
You're working for her.
So if you don't want to put yourself in a situation where someone has something over you, especially in today's society, then you don't do that. And that's what he was saying.
That's what he was saying. Right. Now we got a couple comments real quick. We got my cat Gabe Moore back in. He said, "Hey, strong, Gabe, man, I appreciate it, man." And then we got the he said, "Hey, strong," and then we got the L's and Jason Peanut Butter Whitlock. Oh man, appreciate it, Gabe, man. And then we got the Renegade is back, man. What's up, Renegade? Appreciate you, man. I love that, man. Y'all keep rocking with us. We appreciate y'all, man. Play a little bit more of Whitlock real quick.
Can't. And so I said no. I don't want to put myself in that position. And so I can remember I brought in Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie Bernstein's around my age, a few years younger, perhaps. But I was like, she's been around the block. She actually has been involved in sports media for a long time. She might have something of substance to offer.
Bayless, others sued on 14 counts, including sexual battery. The suit alleges Bayless offered the plaintiff $1.5 million to have sex with him, and that an FS1 exec grabbed her buttocks at a party. So when I saw that headline, first time it hit me, I was like, woo! The system went overload, because that's my old spot. That's my old home. I used to call that place FS1 home for 4 years.
Now, fellas, that's the first one I wanted to hear from when everything broke down. Is I wanted to hear from Marcellus, because we all know we know Whitlock and Marcellus, they was there at Speak for Yourself in the beginning. And I know, Dre, you had said something even way back. It was what was it? It started off with a Speak for Yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah, Speak for Yourself. So
Yeah,
very beginning, just kind of what this is, to interlude what Whitlock was saying. They wanted him. This kind of what that clip what you were playing just now kind of was talking about. They wanted him to bring Joy Taylor in from the Giddy Up, and he was like, well, basically, I don't know. This person doesn't have any experience. I don't know who this is, but so he didn't want to bring her in. So they started the show with him and Colin Cowherd and a couple other people. So Whitlock, our boy Marcellus wasn't there yet. So then after Cowherd left, then they wanted him to bring a woman in, and he said, well, if you want me to bring a woman in, I'll bring in that Bonnie Bernstein that he was talking about, who was a little bit older. She's in her mid-40s, early 50s, but he thought she was credible, that at least she deserved this opportunity because she had been in the industry. But they didn't want her because they wanted, now we know who they wanted, and they didn't think that Bonnie Bernstein had the appeal. So he then turned to Marcellus, and that's how Marcellus got on the show. Marcellus being, another black man and former athlete, he thought it would be a good opportunity to bring him in. And then when he brought Marcellus in, is when the show actually started really climbing the charts. It was the #1 show they had on FS1, including They paid Colin Cowherd all that money to come over to bring his show to FS1, and they also paid Skip to essentially bring First Take over, but they couldn't call it First Take anymore. So they brought in another brother in Shannon Sharp and called it Undisputed. But it was
Right.
really basically First Take. But so that's kind of how things kind of got set up. And to your point, with you know, it went from Cowherd and Whitlock to Whitlock and Marcellus.
Marcellus.
Then when Whitlock's contract was up, they basically kind of they kind of screwed him over on the money they was offering. They basically wanted him to keep working for the same money he was working for. They knew he wasn't going to do that. They were trying to squeeze him out. So he decided to get up. And then that opened up the opportunity for that Ocho guy to come in. Ocho, I don't know if you ever remember watching that show when Ocho was on there with
Marcellus.
Marcellus, but he would always try to out wordsmith Marcellus. He was always trying to go one up. It was almost like a competition. Every time you watched, I stopped watching around that time because it got to be exhausting.
Right.
He was trying to prove himself too, and basically he was coming in to take over Marcellus' show. And the timeline with the allegations with the court document that was filed, when you go through the timeline, because I got a chance to watch Whitlock and Marcellus both sit down together and go through this together on the show. And the timeline, they can kind of put the pieces together as to what was going on prior to the show hitting the airway, and all the way up to the time when Marcellus got let go. It was a plot, it was a plan, and Joy Taylor and Acho was behind it, and they didn't know that the executive that was running the place was in on it too. So he basically had no chance. So the person I feel worse for is Marcellus, because he got he
got screwed.
They took a show basically. They took the show and Whitlock built together. At least Whitlock stepped away, but Marcellus basically got let go.
Right. I like Marcellus because he went to Columbia, Ivy League, right? I believe so. And he played football, and then he made it to the league and balled out and played for several teams. You see all them jerseys he got, but Marcellus is super smart, man. So I really I enjoy his show, and I do watch Whitlock. He rubbed me a little bit sometimes, so I had to kind of step back and kind of understand and try to go a little deeper into what he's saying, because sometimes he get me going a little bit, man. But hey, we got a couple of comments real quick. Renegade said, "What's up, brother? Smoking the still enjoying the Steelers lost. Oh man, they lost, man. I love that. We love that, And then Renegade said this whole thing is wild, and she was plotting to put a serious case on the boss. Right? Exactly, man. It's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I wanted to play a little bit more.
So immediately, my first response always, you guys rock with me, you know what I do, is levity, right? So in trying to laugh at my pain, potential pain, laugh at the pain, I come across this. And let's see. Fox Sports host Joy Taylor has been accused in a lawsuit of sleeping with several prominent executives and personalities to get a prime role with the network. Did not see that in the original headline. I can't.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a Black woman, Daily Show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in?
Get me out. It's my turn. You told me it was my turn.
All right, 4.
Oh man, I had to play that, man.
Wow, man.
Ain't that wild? That's some wild stuff going on right there, man.
But you know what? Honestly, to be in that industry, it probably happens a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get those top company figures and stuff like that. And then we do have a lot of men that use their power, to get women that way too. So it's not surprising though, honestly. Everyone keeps receipts. The internet's undefeated.
And she was gonna take them to the cleaners once she got it to the top, and then she was gonna come back. Well, allegedly, according to the documents, the lawsuit or whatever in the lawsuit, she was going to take them to the cleaners once she got to the top and scream, harassment or sexual harassment or whatever. What was you about to say, Dre?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about Joy is she came across as if she had worked so hard to get to where she is, but she didn't literally. I didn't know it was literally. I thought it was more figuratively than literally. But that being said, I mean, just the way she came across as if she had worked so hard to achieve the fame and success that she got so quick, and she really took the shortcut. But nobody really knew about it. But I mean, you listen to Marcellus. It was rumors about her and Ocho at FS1, but no one ever thought it was her and the executive kicking it too. And she was doing that all at the same time while she was married. I don't know. She was married when she moved out there, and her husband found out about this, and he divorced her. And then she was also engaged to be married to Earl Watson. He used to play point guard. I think it was point guard for UCLA back in the day.
Yeah,
and he found out about it as well. So, I mean, again, she out there willing to do what she wanted, what she has to do to get moved up. And it's funny because you see her with her, Whitlock referred to her those huge cans because she paid for them. I mean, I watched it the very first year she was on the show, and she didn't have those cans. Whitlock, she went out and bought them, so she was buying them. She was flaunting them on TV.
Well, look at that picture you put up. She don't look like you got them there.
What's that?
On that picture right there, don't look like it's there, or does it?
No,
like what? I'm sorry, Reese.
they look natural.
Yeah, but I mean, that was over. Yeah, when she first started in 2016, she had natural, but as of recently, I mean, they she got the huge cans like Whitlock said. So that being said, she knows she know what she's doing. She know what she wanted to do, and the fact is, a lot of people got taken down because of her plan, and then the fact that she was going to get the executive fired if that was her get out of jail free card. That was something. She had it all planned out. She was going to take over the network.
It's going to be FS Joy or what?
Yeah. And now what I was going to say is, Reese, if you watched it last week, she was all covered up like she was wearing turtlenecks all week. She was all covered up like a librarian when she was out there on stage. So I don't know, man. It's funny, but I mean, I give her credit. She sucked it up, and that's probably a bad term. Pause. and put herself on the show. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, if you look at her cast that she was with on Monday, it wouldn't have been hard to suck it up and just go ahead and go on, because she was with the truth, Paul Pierce, and him, and he had chicks in the living room getting it on in his video when he got fired from the network.
Yeah,
then she was also with Irv.
He was kicking it on that couch.
And then she was with Irv. Irv was on the show too. So what Irv gonna say, right?
Man, when because I seen that, because I actually called you and I said man, I didn't know she was still on. I thought she was in hiding. And you said, no, man, she's still on the show. So I actually
that was surprising, because I'm like, but usually with accusations, you don't, they take you off TV for a little bit.
Right.
She was on you said she's still on the show. So I looked it up. I'm like, damn, you got Irv, you got Paul Pierce.
And
I'm like, man, they got a all-star cast up there. If she want to get wild,
all she gotta do is give it Pierce to take care of it.
Yep.
Because the Renegade said men got to tighten up. A woman on the job is a no-no. With the air is done. I don't know how she looked. Yeah, I know, man. I don't care. What did Renegade said? 3 likes, 5 watching. We need two more likes. Yeah, appreciate that, Renegade. Yeah, y'all can like the stream and like and subscribe, man. We always coming up, especially on the weekends. We're trying to get a set time so we can all come in here. We usually do videos and all kind of stuff. So like and subscribe and join our the Going Strong Nation, man. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all 100%, man. Yeah.
So this is a classic case of when, and I hate to say it, but some females try to play the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Because had this gone any other way, and she would have been able to utilize her plan, it would have came across as she was a victim here, but it got stagnated because of the other young lady who actually filed the suit, who was taking names and taking receipts. So the hairdresser that Joy was referring to and told her basically, hey, just go along with the program. That's what took this thing down, because none of the men would have stepped up and said anything. So she had that piece. She had that piece taken care of, but the wild card was the other female that she didn't that she wasn't thinking about. So that's why she's caught up in this lawsuit. And eventually, you know, something's gotta happen. I mean, you know, she's hearing the noise. She can't help but hear the noise. I mean, I was following her on Instagram and everything else, and she's still posting, but she's not posting anything with herself in it. But you know, on a daily, Joy Taylor would put something out there that was provocative and this, that, and another. So I'm just waiting for FSX to fire her so she can go ahead and do what she really want to do. I'm waiting for that OnlyFans page to open up so then she can really make some money.
I think I'll keep the page up for a second for
OnlyFans.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, y'all
Hey,
got
call it
anything?
like I see it, brother.
Hey, no, you right on it, man. You right on it. We all know what's going on up in here, man. For real. But I wanted to attack that for a minute, man. I thought that was a good subject. I said let's get some meat off that bone. You know, it was a lot of people are using that and using that for some examples, and on top of that, it's a good way to kind of teach some guys how and what possibly can happen if you get wrapped up in a triangle or some type of situation at your job. You know what I'm saying? Because all our jobs, whether it's making $1 million or making whatever in corporate, all of us can run into this situation and lose your gig because you may have got kind of weak or whatever, or you don't know what's going on. So now, I mean, it's always been like that forever, So got another comment. I feel when a woman files suits on or plot to file and it's proven the woman is wrong, it should be jail time. Yeah, for real. No, you're right. Because that's like, like you using I mean, that's against the guy's character. He shouldn't be, this guy's been put in jail for 20, 30 years because the woman says something and then she comes back and says she didn't say it, and then they don't even do nothing to her, so no, 100%, man. I'm for real. Like, I got sons, man. I got kids, I got sons, I got cousins, and I always teach them, man. Like, my son actually went and working at my old job, and I told him what to do. I told him about all this, because the history. I was there 30 years, and now he's there. I told him, I said, hey man, this is what happened if you go. This particular person will try to get you wrapped up in some stuff. So the Renegade says, I'm gonna go as far to say as it should be a felony. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because guys, they get wrapped up in something. They'll take you to jail and ask questions later. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going on a lot of situations. So, yeah, appreciate everybody, man. And y'all got anything else to say on that?
No, I'm just gonna be interested to see how this whole thing kind of works itself out, because eventually something's got to give, right? I mean, she's gonna either be off the network or they're gonna have to put some type of statement out and address the elephant in the room, because I mean, they haven't said anything at this particular point, but that lawsuit's not going nowhere. So eventually, even more is going to come out. So, it's just going to be interesting to see what type of spin they put on this.
Right. You got anything to say, Freak?
No, okay. I just think somebody will be paying some money. I don't know if they'll take her off. They'll take her off the air, man. People like looking at her. So,
Right. Right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's like a soap opera. So I mean, and it
Yeah.
just almost it keeps continuing. And so yeah, we gonna touch on it again if it get deeper. So I got a feeling it's gonna get a little deeper.
I don't know though. I feel what you're saying there, but if I was that Dixon gentleman and I'm already I mean, he catching hell right now with at the network. Everybody at the network, he catching hell at home because he's married.
Yeah.
And then to know that she was plotting to get you X'd out.
That's true. That's
Hey,
true.
what about
Right.
Skip? What about Skip? What about Skip?
Man, Skip.
Skip in trouble too.
Yeah, he messed
Skip,
up.
hey, Ernestine.
Oh, Ernestine
Yeah,
he's
right.
behind right now.
Skip in trouble, man.
Skip
was
said
trying-
1 point. Well, hey, we didn't touch on that 1.5 mil. Come on, Skip. Skip was always in competition with Shannon, and Shannon got him wrapped up in some stuff because Shannon is, he has a charisma. He can kind of say something on the slide and it look funny, and women, or whoever. Shannon has a style about herself. So Skip think he's in the competition with Shannon. Next thing you know, Skip is out here trying to flirt with the girls and this, that, and other, and come on, Skip. Now you can't do all that like Shannon.
1.5 million. Man, Skip got a bag.
Man, shit. I tell Skip, you give me that 1.5 million, I go get you 1.5 million prostitutes. You'll be straight. Last your lifetime.
Skip wild out here, man.
Skip was wild, ain't he?
Wow.
Renegade said, what's sad is men in these federal positions know the game and going along with these laws. Oh yeah, yep. And if I was famous and a woman, I tried me. I suing the city trend dress off. yeah, man. I agree, man. It's just crazy, man. I look at Skip and Shannon. Like Shannon said, they saying that Shannon actually is real tight with the girl, and Shannon is kind of the mastermind a little bit behind this as far as the lawsuit.
Yeah, mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? He kind of got out and like kind of threw the hand grenade in there and bounced.
Well, Shannon, his radio show or his podcast with him and Ocho Cinco, actually, and I believe the one Club Chase, they're on Cowherd's. Him and Cowherd are his Cowherd's like network or whatever kind of way. They're working together with the podcast.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that. Okay,
his name wasn't mentioned, but the funny part about it is Cowherd's name wasn't really mentioned, other than there was a section. It was one sentence in there that said Colin Cowherd was always professional with me. It was almost like I'm going to put something in here good for Colin, so they know he had nothing to do with it. That was just odd because he wasn't mentioning anything. So why out of the blue was there a comment in there that says, by the way, Colin Cowherd was always professional, like for the record. Like that was kind of interesting to have that in there. So
yeah, that is wild.
No, you're right, man. Well, hey, we appreciate everybody. Like the stream, subscribe, and rock. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, and see you on the next video. And thanks, Dre, and we appreciate you coming in and later on this week or weekend.
all right.